people are recognizing this. They're recognizing that this woman is way out over her skis, that Biden doesn't know what the HELL is going on. He's at the beach, she's out trying to campaign and at fundraisers, all while this is going down. And you know what keeps happening? The polls keep marching higher and higher and higher. And I'll tell you what, they may try, and I'm going to show you some sound from the former Obama campaign advisor, the guy who ran the whole shindig, and then he's now advising Kamala Harris. I'm going to show you some sound from David Axelrod, in which he kind of says the quiet part out loud, because they're hoping that the Trump supporters are not going to come out because they're underwater, quite literally, in places like Florida or North Carolina. But I'm going to tell you what, the rest of America knows what's going on right about now. And this is being reflected right now in the polls. Let me show you Polymarket, one of our great sponsors on the Trish Regan Show. This is one of the prediction markets, tremendous prediction market, open 24/7, so you can check it all the time. I do check it all the time. Bad habit. Anyway, this is the presidential election winner prediction as of 2024. Fascinating chart. And take a look at who's on the bottom there at 52%. Not on the bottom. He's actually technically on top. It's just where they stacked it. 52 to 47. He is climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. And why is he climbing? Because the smart money knows. The smart money knows that this stuff matters. Optics matter. And it's not just optics, all right? Let's just be really cautious about how we treat this, because I'm not like David Axelrod, and I'm not going to say that this is about votes. But I'm looking around the rest of the country, and people are saying, wait a second, who's there for me when I need it? It's not Kamala Harris, thank you very much. No, Kamala is too busy trying to, I guess if you listen to Elon Musk, shuttle votes into various counties where she needs more support, and therefore is trying to expedite certain voters into the process. That's exactly what Elon is alleging. We're going to get to that. But take a look at that poll, would you, ladies and gentlemen? Polymarket, a prediction market that's putting real money to work. In other words, people are putting down the money, saying this is who I believe is going to win. And what you've started to see, it's a very close race, but Trump is breaking out. As he should. You know what? Donald Trump is going down there. He's in these disaster areas. He's working with Elon to try and bring Starlink to the people that have lost communication, and it's showing up. Here's another one. Okay, so this is the newest Yahoo YouGov poll. Trump-Harris race tightens. Take a look at this. This is the headline. And of course it's tightening. It's tightening because people feel like, wait a second, our government is there, hopefully not to police us on the day-to-day nonsense. You said this, you said that. Okay, well, we believe that's misinformation. I'm sorry. The entire job of the press should be, always historically, was supposed to be to hold government accountable, to hold establishment accountable. And nowadays, if you try and hold them accountable, somehow you're the bad guy. You're the misinformation, disinformation, despite the fact that all the misinformation, disinformation, so-called disinformation that they told us about before has been proven to be correct. I'm thinking about that laptop, that Hunter Biden laptop. I'm thinking about the dossier that turned out to be just nothing but bought and paid for opposition research by the likes of the Hillary Clinton campaign. Anyway, the latest poll out of Yahoo YouGov showing that Donald Trump is climbing and climbing and climbing. Now, they're still showing a very tight race with the likes of Kamala Harris ahead. But what's important here is that it had been 50% Kamala, 45% Donald Trump, and now today it's 48% Kamala, 46% Donald Trump. And you know what I've said on this. The people don't actually want to say who they're voting for, because you see so many of these polls are done on recorded lines. And if it's on a recorded line, then, people feel a little uncomfortable. Understandably so, especially a lot of conservatives saying, well, this is who I'm going to vote for, because then there's a public record of that. And so they don't actually tell you the truth. And thus, when you're at 48, 46 and you're Kamala Harris, I'd be running damn scared right about now. She keeps saying she's the underdog. I'd hardly say that. She's not the underdog, at least by so many of these polls in which she's quite tight. She's actually doing quite well, considering that the woman was all about bringing in people to our country over the border, despite being the so-called border czar. Oh, that's misinformation too, apparently, these days. She wasn't, quote, the border czar. I don't know what she was. She was theoretically in charge of the border, but you're not supposed to talk about that. No. By the way, we have so much more to say on that. In fact, I got to show you the soundbite from the 60 Minutes interview, because she can't answer the question. But before I do, considering all the chaos that we're in, take a look at gold. It's one of the best ways to diversify your portfolio. I have more to say on your portfolio because we have the latest results from 76 Research coming up that I want to share with you. Tremendous, tremendous quarter. Because, you know, what can I say? We're smart. And this is one of the things that I've recommended over the last 20 years. It's gold. And I do think that gold is one of the best ways to diversify your portfolio. If you're looking at gold, take a look at my friends over at American Hartford Gold. They're one of the sponsors of the show. They're giving you up to $15,000 in free silver. You can call 1-844-495-1115. You can text my name, Trish. Text Trish to this number, 65532, American Hartford Gold. You can go to trishlovesgold.com. I got to put that on the screen for everybody, but how can you forget it, right? I think it's in the show notes. trishlovesgold.com. Go to Trish Loves Gold today for more information on how to get up to $15,000 in free silver. But look, it is the economy, right? It's the economy. And people are like, Kamala, how are you going to fix it? How are you going to fix it? And so she went on to 60 Minutes to do this big interview and had no answers. Kamala Harris cannot tell a very sympathetic news organization, CBS News, for whom I used to work, and trust me, they're sympathetic. She can't tell them how she's going to fix the economy. It's just, we're going to make them pay more, make the rich pay their fair share. Her favorite saying, and I love it because Bill Whitaker actually kind of tried to push her a little bit gently, right? Because again, it's CBS News. They're on her side, trust me, and watch. Ooh, Kamala, how are you going to do that? Are you going to pressure them? Are you going to tell them we're going to just shut you down because it's misinformation, disinformation if you don't agree with me? Look, and a couple things going on there. I don't disagree that in many cases you have billionaires that are getting away with way lower tax rates. In fact, we see it all the time in something that I like to call the fat cat tax loophole, the private equity tax loophole. That would be for all the donors to Kamala Harris's campaign. Thank you very much. All right. They get away with treating their income as capital gains, which is at a much lower rate. But again, shall we say, this is the donor class, the elites to Kamala Harris's campaign. These are the people that are backing her, and she's never talked about fixing it for them. No. She's going to go out to all the small business owners there and say, we're going to tax you more and you more and you more. And oh, you're sitting on that farm out there? Well, we think this farm is like worth this rather than this. Oh gosh, she might be at odds with Letitia James. Think about it. More on Letitia coming up because Kamala thinks Mar-a-Lago is worth $1 billion. Therefore, you should be paying $1 billion worth of taxes. You understand where this is going, right, ladies and gentlemen? She wants to tax everyone who she thinks has one stinking dollar in their pocket to death. And then she's going to, what, keep importing people into the country? Because it's pretty outrageous the amount of money that FEMA's been spending importing people into the country. And I know we're not supposed to talk about this. This is disinformation. This is misinformation. I'm sorry, but the numbers are there, okay? And KJP said it back in 2024, and she said it again in 2022. Just exactly what's going on in terms of paying for, this is FEMA, okay? This is their budget. And yet FEMA doesn't have the capability or the executive functioning capability even to get to first base when it comes to rescuing people in places that really, really need rescuing. This is government gone wild. This is a bunch of bureaucrats sitting around saying, how great do we look? And yet they look really bad right about now. Really bad. You know who looks good? Quick aside, Rob and I over at 76 Research, take a look at those numbers. We just crunched the numbers for the 3 months ending 9/30/2024. And nice consumer, financials, utilities, real estate, technology stocks, all of these things way up and away. If you look at the median stock return, take a look at that 10.8% versus the S&P index of 5.9%. Really, really good stuff. Just a quick reminder, everyone, to go over to 76 Research. You can sign up, get the information. If nothing else, get the free stuff. But I highly, highly encourage you to take a look at the stuff that really is of value, and that would be the model portfolios. Let me see if I can find this. I'll put it up. There we go. So these are the model portfolios. 76research.com. There are 3 model portfolios there for you. Lots of great stock ideas, 10 to 15 stocks in each of those portfolios. This is my baby. I started it with my dear friend Rob, who I've known for many, many years. He's worked like 20 some odd years on Wall Street. He's run billions of dollars, is super smart, knows how to pick stocks. And I thought, what if we could do this in a way that's not just, hedge fund to hedge fund? What if we can actually bring real market information to the masses and do so cheaply, right? It's cheap for you, but we sell it on scale. Kind of a different business model. And he agreed to do this, and I'm just thrilled because we've had so much success. The portfolios are soaring. So take a look at that. Again, really, really good numbers with, let me see if I can bring this up for you guys. Again, take a look at that. Consumer, the financial pick, two of them, up 24%. Utilities were up 24% there. Real estate up 23%. I mean, this is fantastic. Really, really fantastic. So I want to share this information with you. It's important for me to share this information with you. I created this for you. So go to 76research.com today, 76research.com. Sign up for those portfolios. We'll get 76 Research. You can get it actually. Code word dollar for $1 a month. No harm, no foul. You can cancel anytime if you don't like it. You'll get the 76 Research report, and then I think it's like an extra $22, $23 if you add on one of those model portfolios per month. It really works out. And again, the idea here is to start building this equity value, right? So you need to pick the right stocks. But this is tragic, what we're seeing from Kamala Harris. Absolutely, positively tragic. I mean, the horror, right? The hurricane horror that you're seeing. Tom Cotton, I love him. He had the, you know what, to call it all out on NBC over the weekend. So Senator Cotton sat down with this anchor, this NBC News anchor, and he gave her a piece of his mind and called out her BS, shall we say. But before we get to that, just think about the BS that's out there. First of all, Kamala saying, we got $750 for everyone. Woohoo!
Of dollars to foreign countries that most people have never heard of. They're offering.
That was not Kamala. that is Trump. But let's go back actually to Donald Trump because he's making a very valid point. We'll go to Kamala in a second. Here he is saying, woohoo, right? On Kamala's $750.
Of dollars to foreign countries that most people have never heard of. They're offering them $750. They've been destroyed. These people have been destroyed. The one young lady washed, you saw that with her son. I mean, pretty, I wish I never saw it, but just washed away. Your son was washed away with the grandparents, and so sad. And they're giving them $750. And think of it, we give foreign countries hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're handing North Carolina $750. If you want a president who won't even try to save you when the floodwaters are rising, vote for Kamala. She's not the right person. Look, you know what? If they did a good job, I wouldn't have run. To be honest with you, I didn't need to do this. I didn't need to. If I thought they were doing an even modestly good job, I wouldn't have run, but I saw right from the beginning, grossly incompetent, and I was right about that, and I decided to run, and we're doing really well.
Let's go to Kamala for a second, because really, he's not wrong. It's $750, and then you compare and contrast what they've given to migrants coming into the country, what they've given to Ukraine. I realize, okay, like I get it. Maybe they didn't take it or steal it from, in terms of FEMA, from the migrant budget to it. I get it. Okay. That's what they're like. Oh, this is just information. But the point is, like, that money's out there and they're not using it for the right purposes.